Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the 59th episode of the Supernova Show. And I am your host, Colton Roberts. We've got a good episode on today. We're going to talk Secrets of Dumbledore, Friday Night Titans, the Thor4 trailer, and the other topic, Moon Knight episode 4. Yeah, I'm a professional, totally. I got Mr. Amaru Moses with me and Mr. Robert Kastner, so I'm going to go ahead and bring out, you know him, you love him, he loves Venom Let There Be Carnage, Amaru Moses.
Goodbye, y'all. That is it. I'm gone. No, see ya. Peace out. Sorry. Screw that movie. What's going on?
Yeah, I told Anthony last time, I was like, man, I should have introduced you as the guy who loves Let There Be Carnage. And he was like, next time, he's coming on again in April. Next time, do it. And I was like, yes.
Oh my gosh.
How you doing, man?
I'm worrying about whether or not I should ever go see Morbius in theaters and see if it's going to take the place of Let There Be Carnage. Because, there's so many other good movies out right now. So I actually legit think I'm going to have to wait until it comes out streaming. I don't think I'll ever get to it.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what is it available for you guys to do trivia? Like, because that
you're gonna have to ask that again because you just broke up after I have to ask.
Oh, I have to ask. Like, at what point does it get to the like where you guys have to use it for trivia?
General rules: 3 months. About 3 months, you can start to hearing it. So.
Okay. Well, then at least you have till what, July before you have to deal with that?
Something like that. It usually hops on streaming before it gets asked about. Give people some time to watch it. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I have heard just awful, horrible things. Like my best friend, he was so excited for it. He was much more excited for that than he was the Batman when we went and saw it. And I was just like, yeah, I can't go watch that. I cannot waste my money on that movie. Like, no. And he texted me as soon as he got out. He was like, yeah, don't waste your money. Go see Sonic 2, Secrets of Dumbledore, Bad Guys, and Doctor Strange. And I was like, well, I'm going to see Bad Guys with my son, so that's never a waste of money. But me going to a theater by myself would absolutely, because I'm not letting them watch. I didn't know if I should let them watch Morbius or not. So, but apparently it's not too bad. So,
I've never heard of anybody saying that they were excited for Morbius. It's a different take.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's been excited for it for because it's supposed to have been coming out 2 years ago. So he's been really excited for it. And now not so much. But yeah, how's life going?
Good. I'm 30-something more days before summer break. It's always what I say every time, just because that's really that time of the year. Spring break just ended, and I had to go back, and I'm just like, I'm done, and I'm ready for it to be over. But all in all, days go by, things happen, nothing ever too bad. Got a popcorn fundraiser going on that's actually doing pretty well for us. So hopefully we get some monies to help send these 8th graders off in as much style as we can, and then do other things for other kids. Pretty cool. And weather's nice, so it's always a good thing.
Yes. Did you post that on your Facebook, the fundraiser? Because I meant to make it a banner so that people are watching it, they can buy it. But I
did. It's on my Facebook. It's on my it was on my IG. I just made it a story. There's less than 24 hours left. It's on my Facebook. It's on my Twitter. I'll probably post again about it in the morning. Just follow me and you'll see it. It'll be there. Behind the Pusha T comments and the one gotta stay comments and things. I only tweet about so many things. There's not many things I tweet or post about besides Bite Size, One Gotta Stay, hip hop, and movies, and Schmodown. So,
okay, so I just put it in our comments. Yeah, I just put it in our comment section, and I'm gonna favorite that. But also,
it does end Saturday.
URL. Holy moly!
It is. Usually, you're just able to click it and go. It's definitely done on Saturday 7 EST though. So don't watch this Sunday and then click on that and say, hey, I want popcorn. It's too late. It ends on Saturday, the 23rd, 7 EST.
Um, I assume PM, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, PM. Yes, PM.
Okay. Yeah. I will definitely get some of that. Like, I read up on it, and I'm like, yes, that sounds great. And then I had some questions for you, and you were like, ooh, I don't know. Let me get back to you. And I was like, all right, cool. But yeah. Well, I'm glad everything is going well. Yeah, like my kids are really excited to be out of school. Then they'll get to spend a lot more time with their baby brother because he's 4
Nice.
weeks today. So, whew. And yeah, it's been a good time.
All
Really
right.
exhausting. 10 out of 10 though. Would recommend.
Nice.
But yeah, I've been watching One Gotta Stay, and I watched your trailer reaction to Thor, and that was good. One Gotta Stay is awesome. Like
Thank you.
like I told you before, I didn't really have that many connections to the last episode that you posted,
Which is
but
weird because everybody loves Back to the Future except me because of things. Actually, I still like Back to the Future and Terminator and The Matrix. But anyway,
yeah. And then yeah, your trailer reaction was great. So,
thank you.
Good work.
Appreciate it.
Thank
My cat apparently agreed as well.
Yes. But yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna throw you to the back and then bring out Mr. Robert Kastner. Hey, Robert.
If you want to watch cool Morbius, just watch the '90s Spider-Man cartoon.
Yes, yeah. Or that one scene at the deleted scene in that Blade movie where you see him in the distance. That's pretty cool.
Sure. Yes, that's also acceptable, but not
Yes.
the movie. And your friend sounds like he grew up in a bizarro world where good things are bad and vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, he was not excited for Batman because of Robert Pattinson. Like he's one of those people that can't see past the Twilight thing.
Oh my gosh, watch Good Time or anything else he did.
Yeah, I completely agree, but sometimes you just can't change someone's opinion. And that as my friend, I'm not supposed to change his opinion on stuff that doesn't matter.
No, you try, but you accept the fact that you can't.
Yes.
It's like how I will accept that you're never gonna convince me that Prisoner of Azkaban's a bad Harry Potter movie.
Oh no. Hey, not bad, just
the worst of the bunch. Whatever.
No, oh God, no. It's definitely better than Half-Blood Prince, but it's down there. Like
it's funny how topsy-turvy and opposite our Harry Potter rankings are. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know if it's better than if I take the connection to the books out, it is a better movie.
Okay, good. We did it, people. We did it. Supernova Showland. We did it. We got an admittance there. So
but I still think there are movies better than that.
Okay.
I think, but there are definitely movies worse than that, and we will. I mean, I don't know. You haven't seen Secrets of Dumbledore yet, right?
I haven't. No.
Okay, so
I won't be part of that discussion when you all have.
Yeah, so we're gonna make that the main event for tonight's show.
Yes,
but yeah, like there are definitely movies that are worse in the even out of just the 8. There's worse.
Good. Yes, I got you to admit it. That's all I wanted. I did it.
Yeah. But yeah, well, it's been a really good week. I'm trying my best to share stuff, but I'm also talking a whole lot. So yeah. So
you are, but that's good.
Yeah.
You're the host. You're supposed to.
Yes, and I've also wrote on my Facebook Secrets of Dumbledore Friday Night Titans, and for the last 2.5 minutes I haven't typed anything else. So yeah, it happens.
Yeah. The week for me has been long. A long week. I'm very happy that the weekend has graced itself upon us because I've been waiting for it for a while. I found myself going back to playing video games again, and that's been fun. That's been a fun revelation amidst doing my trivia studying as well. So that's pretty much kind of my life at this point. It's those 3 things: work and those 2 hobbies. But you know what? You could do worse.
That is very true. You could do work. You could be a assaulting people and getting arrested a lot in Hawaii. So that's something that you could be doing, but
Well,
you're not.
I'm not in. How does Peacemaker describe him? I'm not a untenable D-bag or whatever, so
Yeah, that is
that
very
won't
true.
happen to me.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Yeah, like it's an entire thing.
It is. It's an epic.
Like between that and the Will Smith stuff, man, late March and April has been super interesting
It
for
has been. You know, like
controversy.
there's the dog days of summer. I guess this is like the dog days of Hollywood.
Yeah, and then of course, like today, we found out that Bill Murray has apparently been doing something sketchy on his new movie. So
Yeah.
Searchlight Pictures had to.
And now all the
Force
stories are
it.
circulating about, like, there was the thing, the Lucy Liu, Bill Murray thing when they were doing Charlie's Angels, and that sort of reared its ugly head again. We're just getting reminded about not glowing behavior from Bill Murray over time.
Yeah, yeah, it's super odd because like you would think I mean I guess because the people that you play on screen isn't necessarily yourself. So I mean, I
No, he
guess
only played himself in Zombieland.
yeah. So yeah, it's definitely weird, but what you gonna do, really?
Call Ghostbusters, usually.
Yeah, that's true. That is very, very true.
That's
But
what
yeah.
I was going to say in answer to that. I was like, yeah, but he was in Ghostbusters, so everything else slides.
Oh yes.
Ezra Miller doesn't have that. We can't go, well, he was in blank, so we let it slide. He doesn't have one of those, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that he doesn't.
No, yeah, we shouldn't let him slide is the point. We shouldn't let them slide. Sorry, I caught myself.
Yeah, I mean, if it was the first time, then I could understand.
Mm-hmm.
But it's their third big thing in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Choking a woman in Iceland, threatening a couple in Hawaii 2 weeks ago, and now doing it again.
Maybe Ezra just needs to be in the contiguous 48. Maybe that is where they are most unlikely to be caught up in a scandal.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could say. I was going to say if they were outside the country, but one of those recent incidents have happened in Hawaii, so it doesn't really count.
Yep, I agree completely, but it's whatever. But let's move on to some better stuff.
Yes.
Now that I'm almost done sharing all my shenanigans on all the Facebooks, let's bring back out Mr. Amaru Moses.
He's back.
And then let's go ahead and throw the scoreboard up there. We it's 9-10 over here. Without
still winning.
Yeah, without the predictions for Titans.
Yes.
We'll do that in just a moment. But yeah, it was a good week. Like I will say. So since Amaru hasn't been on the show since Titans aired, what is your opinion on that? Like
I enjoy Titans a lot. I like I like the shenanigans. I like the studio. I mean, the acting. Some people can act, and some people are just there to have fun. But you know what? You take it because you love it. So it is what it is. I'm all in on all of those. I really genuinely love the cutscenes going along with it, and just being able to be like, yo, I'm gonna just sit back and enjoy the silliness and the surprises of it. It's like the one thing is just like I know the majority of the things that are gonna happen, but like the times I don't, I'm like, wait, who is actually coming and what's happening? I love getting into it, and so I'm just like, they're not great actors, but who cares? Whatever.
You don't come there for
they're having fun.
Laurence Olivier, you know.
They're loving it. I'm loving it. Let's do this, and then trivia. So I'm finding it very hilarious, knowing who has been watching the Schmodown since day one or season 3, like me, for a long time, because it's like two different things. It's like day one, those who just followed the Schmoes, and then day ones, because season 3 was like the second reboot of day ones. So they knew it was 2 matches a week on 2 different days with cutscenes in between. And people are like, this is not enough. What have we done? I'm like, oh, y'all are new. Y'all didn't know how this went. This was normal. This is normal. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. And then all the people who are like, yo, get to the matches. It's like, yo, okay, well then just wait till Tuesday. You get your match. You don't got to watch the cutscenes. It's good for both. Good for all. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like, I will say, I loved Guy coming back. Team Action returning was great. Probably one of the funniest lines I've ever heard, or a joke that I've heard on the Schmodown, is Andrew Guy humping the desk, and
you're gonna have to marry that table now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to marry the desk now. Like, I was watching it, and of course, like, there's some like discrepancy there. Like, I spit up, my son spit up. There's probably a different reason, but I thought it was so funny, and I guess that's
no. Your son understands comedy already, so of course he just
Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, it was good, but yeah,
yeah. The Team Action thing was the one thing that came out, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is what happening. We're going back. I felt so good as like you, Rue. I started watching season 3, and I was like, oh, we're coming back. We're remixing the remix. It's great.
And that's the other thing I'm really liking about the season. The other side of it, the other new fans that hadn't seen action in action before, and now they're like, this is what it was, and like being able to experience live and not have to go back to old matches and like experience like this is what y'all were doing before, and like this week, I mean, it's not. You know what? I'm not even saying getting freaking Zipper with Gertler and Gertler being back and doing a whole new different thing. Just like this is another dude that was just around, and seeing flashbacks of what Mike used to look like, what he used to be. Just fun.
Yeah, I agree. But all right, so last week,
let's run it down. This is the worst week for me so far.
Yeah, Cleet Wiggins beat Jacoby.
They won't let me root for Jacoby. Why won't they let me root for Jacoby?
Because your past doesn't matter. It's all about your future. That's why.
Yeah. The drip, y'all. Drip.
Yeah. That was a good match.
Hey, the Galaxy Geeks. They had to swing by and show some love. Great show. Thank you.
Cut it. We can't get better than this. We should just stop now.
The Galaxy Geeks love is always what everybody wants.
Yes. Yeah, like that match was good.
Yeah, it was back and forth. It was, I mean, I guess I hadn't seen Clee in a while, so I underestimated her a bit. I just thought from, having the connection with Jacoby, I was just like, yeah, Jacoby's going to win.
Yeah, both me and Robert would have both chose Jacoby, so at least both of us didn't points there.
Clee is sneaky good.
She is.
Like, she is very sneaky good. Her, like, areas of actual knowledge, like being in on test sessions with her areas of knowledge are like, oh, you would know that, wouldn't you? Like, I wouldn't expect it, but then thinking about who you are and where you are, like, yeah, of course you would know that. Of course. So people need to watch out for Clee, for sure.
Yeah, and then I didn't realize how tall Jacoby was.
That's
until he stood next to Mark Riley, and I was just like, "Holy crap!" Like, I've been in the same room as Mark Riley before, and I'm just like, he's not a tiny dude, so I don't know how tall Jacoby is.
Jacoby's tall.
Yeah, like I'm 5'11", and
he's taller than you. He's definitely taller than you.
Yeah, I would say he's 6'3", 6'4".
He might be a little bit more. He's 6'4", 6'5", probably more on the 6'4" side.
Oh my gosh.
Probably more on the 6'4" side. And the thing is, he's not the tallest dude in Schmodown either.
Yeah.
So
like, as a person who I've only ever seen him on the computer, it was so weird seeing him in real life. Or actually real life.
Everybody looks big or small in a window.
Imagine what it's like looking at him next to Paige. It's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious because Paige is a tiny, tiny individual.
That's
Yep,
all it's
and
about. It's about contrast. Contrast is also comedy. So do
uh,
more of that.
so then Mike Kalinowski versus Paige for Betty was the main event.
Mhm.
And typically what we do is like I try and play along with singles because now I do a lot better. In previous seasons, I would get 0 out of 8. Now I'm getting like 4 out of 10. And I'm like, that's progress. Like either I
Slowly
don't,
building himself up for
yeah,
singles.
like I don't know if the questions are getting easier or if I'm just, watching it. Like last season, I had to watch it because there was no story, and we were talking about it every week. So like I pick up on things, and I also like watch a lot more fan league stuff because of this guy right here.
Shouldn't. Not for me. Should do it for yourself.
Yeah, but I mean, I only have so much time, and you're my friend, so I want you to get those views. So, but
Thank you.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm here for. So I of course I knew that John Voight wasn't in Crimes of Grindelwald, so I like
By the way, just
where they mention 4 people and are like, who's not in this movie? And I'm just like, haha.
Those are weirdly tricky questions sometimes.
They are.
They can really make it tricky.
I missed the Angelina Jolie one because I was thinking of Alexander instead of Troy, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. It's Alexander, not Troy."
By the way, I yelled at Paige for the John Voight question, so don't worry.
Okay. Well, Mike got a fair amount of IG questions in his singles match. So.
I'm also very much loving the amount of IG that is getting into singles as well.
There's a fair amount getting into.
It's going back to IG movies are also movies, y'all.
No, it's true. That's absolutely true. It's just, it was a very stark thing. They said it too. They were like, Paige only missed 1, and it was the IG question. So you're like, yeah, I get it.
But yeah, and then of course, like Mike was doing all his impressions, and like guys saying he's like, I hope there's not a Michael Caine question, and then there being a Michael Caine question, and his just reaction to it was the best. Mike's pretty funny. Mike is really funny. But yeah, and then Mike ended up winning because of an article added to an answer.
I hate Last Action Hero, by the way. I always think it's the Last Action Hero.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the amount of times I have talked about the article in the last couple of months, because I've known about this outcome and why it happened for a minute, and I was like, ooh, this is going to be a conversation when this comes out. Yeah, the funniest thing is that I'm actually fairly certain during some of our study sessions last year, I've had to tell Paige, yo, it's just Last Action Hero. It's not the Last Action Hero. I'm pretty sure I've told her that before. And so when she did, I was like, oh, no, that's not the movie. It's not the name.
Like it's so weird because like now they added that to the rule book that you can't add articles. But like last year, like managers would call benefit of the doubt rule, and she would have won if that new rule if they had used the rule book from last year, she would have won the match.
Because that's the actual use of benefit of the doubt. That is the legitimate way you use it. But some people want to call the man Rowdy McDowell and give him a point. Yeah. So this is what happened, Joe.
Or I am robot instead of I robot.
Look, that was on Christian for saying yes and Gucci for not challenging. Because if they would have challenged, Frankie's my boy, and I wanted him to get the win, and I'm glad he did. But if they would have challenged and reversed that, I'd have been like, I mean, yeah, you're 100% correct. But they didn't challenge. So,
I mean, how many times has JTE been skirting the line of a name that should be acceptable, and it gets accepted all the time? I know it's different circumstances, but you know, he gained one on me because of this article thing. So I'm smarting a little bit.
Where do you all land on this argument? Because Paige's big thing is that if you cannot add one, you also should not be able to take it out. And I personally, I'm on the side of you can't add it because it's not a part of the movie, but you could take it out for the benefit of the doubt reasons. And I understand it. On top of the fact that I'm with, if that's a part of the rule, I'm going with that's a part of the rule book. So since it's a part of the rule book, you got to go by it. And I understand it because you say the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'm saying no, that is not the movie. It is not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So I have a question. If someone answered Force Awakens when the movie is The Force Awakens, would they be wrong?
Depends. Probably no, they wouldn't, because
they wouldn't
that's
be.
the benefit of the doubt, like acceptance thing. Because you're not adding something that is completely wrong. You don't have anything that's wrong on your board.
Okay.
That's it. And that's the balance, I think, between trying to make sure we're still fun and not sticklers, but not taking advantage of a rule which allows you to change things to a limit that make no sense. So for me, if they would have said you can add and you can drop an article and that's the rules, cool. But they set the rule, you can't add, but you can take out. I'm good with that too. And I understand it. I actually think that's the perfect middle ground for me. That's my thought.
Your argument is probably correct. I'm of the opinion that it should either be, I'm of the black and white opinion. I'm like, it's allow both of dropping and adding, or if you're gonna do it, then make sure nobody drops or adds anything. Like I guess I'm a stickler. I'm a stick in the mud then.
Consistently stickler.
Yes, that's how it would be. Gotcha. Like I hate this one, but I understand it. It's the Shang-Chi thing. Like, people can just say Shang-Chi because there's no other Shang-Chi movies, but I'm like, well, that's not, the full title is this, and it's shortening titles and whatever. And I'm like, all right, that's fine, I guess. You have to do that for the purpose of timing and making sure people aren't having to scramble to do stuff in those cases. So your argument's probably right, Rue. I'm just I would like it to be black or white one way or the other and not in the middle.
Yeah, like I foresee that. Like that example that you gave is actually really good because eventually there will be another Shang-Chi movie.
Yeah.
And it will probably be Shang-Chi and the Legend of the something.
11 Rings.
And then now, and at that point, you have to say Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings.
Yes.
Yeah. Versus
people will probably say like Shang-Chi and Legend of 10 Rings or something. There probably will come up somewhere, I bet. And they'll be like, well, yeah, that's fine because you just took out the article.
But
what I enjoy is that they have rules and they're like, this is the rule. This is it. You cannot take advantage of benefit of the doubt for some stuff just nah. So
this is a spirit of the law versus the meaning of the law. You know what I mean? The strictness of the law versus the spirit of the law. And in the spirit of the law, page 1. But in the strictness of the law, Mike 1. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I'm very sad Paige lost because of it.
Yeah. So now we're going to get Mike versus Ben, and that's going to be a very interesting thing. I don't know if you watch either of you watched Schmodown 2.0 on Ben's channel, but I
saw the episode that he just did with Mike. I don't watch all of them. I watched that one.
So the interesting concept that they came out with them doing a 4-match gauntlet match for like a charity, it being singles, them with a random team partner, an IG match, and a Star Wars match, and seeing who wins for that. I would love that idea. I don't know. Christian sometimes watches the show. Please make that happen. I will totally donate money to see that.
I would love it if that was like a recurring twice a year thing. They just made it a pay-per-view. You get 2 people and you do a 4-match gauntlet, and you do it like every 6 months. One in the winter. Make it a pre-collision and a pre-spectacular match thing, or just that extra. I don't know, but it sounds very fun.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. And
if you did that gauntlet, could your records like be affected for each one?
I would say it's not a record thing. It's a pride thing, and I really and Ben like made a slight switch because it's about the person who wins, whoever gains the most points at the end.
Yeah,
not matches won, but points won at the end. And it's real interesting because depending on who you have, Ben was like, Mike is good enough in singles that he can stick around close enough point wise and then murder him on Star Wars and IG to win the points.
Yeah. That's a fantasy thing. That's like are we doing head-to-head matchups, or are we doing roto scoring where everything gets compiled together?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of argument. But yeah, no, he's absolutely right. Mike is decent enough in the other things that Ben should be able to beat him in, but Ben is not nearly as good in the other things that Mike would crush him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that happened, and then of course, like Mr. Irwin and Nick Harley are known as the appointment, and they'll play Adam Gertler and Eric Zipper in the main event tonight, which may not be already over. We don't know.
I don't know timing. Time is a social construct.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Robert,
yes.
the database, I have no idea who that is, and Janine were the system, and they played the Barbarian Gold Leader. And they were the exclusive. I asked you to make a prediction for that. I've already made my prediction. I chose the exclusive. Who do you choose?
The exclusive. I would choose the exclusive.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
I know who the database is. I can give you some information if you want to like just have better. I don't know if it's going to change anything, but do you want me to tell you who the database is just in case?
I don't know if it'll change my opinion, but we're here. We're not people who stray away from getting information. So I'm
okay. So if any of you have ever been in the live chats before, or at least have watched the live chat last year, Eric Chan always had the American flag on his thing, and he was always in the chat last year, and he was one of the ones who was always there answering questions. One of the fans, they picked him up. That's who the database is.
Okay. Yeah. I had no idea who he was, so I chose the people I knew over people that I didn't. So all right. So Mr. Irwin and Nick Harley versus Adam Gertler and Eric Zipper.
I'm taking Ethan. And
yeah.
I mean, come on. That one seems almost silly to me, but what do I know?
Yeah, I tend to agree.
My thought should just be that I pick your pick every week so I can just win.
Yay!
So I could just eke out the victory, even though we're only in April. That's my thought, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, please don't.
Gentlemen's agreement.
All right, so at least either way, next week will be tied. And then next week we'll talk about the free for all because the free for all is next Saturday. So yep. So let's go ahead and move on to some Moon Knight for a few minutes.
Very excited about the free for all, by the way. Very excited.
Yes, I am as well.
I hope you're in it.
He's on the poster. So
I was on the poster last year.
He was on the poster last year. So that's last to me.
That's what I'm saying. If they do that to me 2 years in a row while I'm just waiting, and every time I see a
every time I hear swag,
I'll be like, yeah. And then it's not you. Last year, I did that every time the usual suspects came up, and then you weren't there.
I was like, this has to be him, and it was. I was like, what the hell is?
My brother said the exact same thing. He texted me when the poster came out. If you're on this poster 2 years in a row and you do not come out, I'm going to break something.
I'll flood some freaking chats. I don't care. I'll flood Facebook groups. I'll be like, stop false advertising, please. You build me up, you break me down, and I can't take it.
All right, so Moon Knight episode 4.
Tomb.
Yes. Holy moly. Let's throw this spoiler tag up here.
Yes.
Holy crap, that was good.
It was good, and there were other parts that were a little iffy. But
yes,
it was it strayed towards good as opposed to being bad.
Yeah. Okay. So I love the moment where Steven kisses Mark's wife, and then Mark punches him.
That I like. The kiss is strange.
It was weird, but like I was like, so what's Mark's reaction going to be? And we immediately got it. Like I was thinking we're going to wait until he looks himself in the mirror, and then he's going to be like, "I'm going to strangle you." But yeah, we immediately got a punch in the face, which was great. Um, yeah, and like, not to jump straight to the end, but I was watching it and I thought I had a stroke because of everything that was going on. And I was just like, all right, I have fallen asleep while watching this, and this is my fever dream because I had like 2 hours of sleep the night before. So I was just like, okay, well, this is a thing now. And then when I realized that it was real because I saw other people talking about it, I was like, oh, okay, good, good. And yeah, it was
Well, this is the one critics were like, this is where it starts to venture into the odd more so than it already had when we started. This is the one.
like,
I mean, yeah, we could go into the full thing, but I mean, the first part's pretty straightforward. Everybody said it. It's basically like an episode. It's like the Mummy, right? And
Yeah.
also with the Descent, I want people to know the monsters were like the weird shit in the dark, and like the monsters kind of remind me of the monsters in the Descent. If you've ever seen the Descent, it's the guy who directed. Oh, it's a great movie, Rue. It's directed by the guy who did Hellboy 2019. Don't let that sway you. Descent is a good movie.
You know what? Wait, no, David S.F. Wilson is freaking Bloodshot. Oh my gosh, every single time.
Marshall.
Is it Neil Marshall? It is
Neil Marshall.
Yeah, it is Neil Marshall. I unapologetically think Hellboy 2019 is fun.
Okay, well,
because I'd heard for years it's trash, and then I watched it. I was like, yeah, it's bad, but I'm enjoying this, so whatever.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. But the Descent and the Descent 2 were actually like good horror movies. But that's what those remind me of because things are coming out of the shadows and they're blinding them with light and stuff. And there's some decent character stuff. Some stuff gets muddled as they're going through. Like we have the spot you're talking about, Colton, where they do the kiss. And I was watching a review. They were like, I think it's supposed to be a sexy scene because she's rigging him up with the carabiners and stuff around his crotch. And I was like, I guess it's supposed to be sexy, sort of, but it's not really because he's awkward.
Steven. It's supposed to be like awkward, but you also can see like the conflict in her head, like close to him, but it's awkward. And Moon Knight for me has been weird because episode 1 of Moon Knight is up there with Kang as the best episode in the MCU. I at the end of episode 1, I was like, this is amazing.
I love it.
Yes, love it. And then 2 was like, all right, this is cool. It's a little slower. And then 3 officially was like, yo, this should have been a binge because episode 2 and 3's pacing is just killing me. While I still like enjoy a lot of what's in it, it's just like, this is just exposition upon exposition upon exposition upon, and the action has been disappointing. It has. I have not enjoyed the action very much.
2 especially, I kind of like the fight he does in the rooftop in 3. I like how it's choreographed, but then that's kind of it, really, for action. I think it's the best action part so far.
I don't know. It's like the exposition was the exposition of every show was like, it's like episode 2 and 3 continues to be set up episodes.
Yeah.
So they go so long, and then the action is so quick. It's like, well, and up until for me for episode 4. I'm still enjoying the show, but I'm like, y'all gotta do something. The opening scene with the car and the shootout, even though they were the dumbest people looking for people, because all you have to do is look at the damn truck.
Yeah.
She's around the truck. Look in the truck, dude. What are you talking about? Outside of that was good. But then from there through to, and I think officially for me, when he marks the Eye of Horus, I was like, this is the same. Come on, y'all. Come on. Speed this up. From the Eye of Horus on, in.
Yeah, it's
loving all of that.
The character moment, which they bring back to about how Steven tells Layla about what Mark was doing, and then he brings it back. He does the punch thing, which is a cute thing, but then they have a discussion about it. And it's a nice understanding moment between the two of them. And then
that's why I've like still enjoyed episode 2 and 3, because there's a bunch of things in there that are like, this is really good. But there's so much stuff in the middle of it that is like, doesn't work. Or is it you're like, come on. And then you're like, oh, great. Okay, enough. Like the drama doesn't hit as well, especially mixed with the comedy that does, but then you're just waiting. So it's like, I'm in it, but y'all are just taking way too long for a lot of these things with a lot of stuff that just muddles that pacing. So,
I think it's really if it's not Oscar Isaac or Ethan Hawke doing stuff, then you're like, I do like the part where in 3 where they're doing the thing where she got the person making the passport. I do kind of like that scene, but I like it because of the idea of seeing somebody make a passport, which seems, people do that all the time, but you never really see it. So it's like, oh, I've never seen anybody like really make a passport. I've seen people make fake IDs and stuff, but I've never seen somebody make a passport, which is cool. But yeah, I think that's sort of what it is. And then obviously the end is, it's nice that you're right, because I think all these MCU shows have this problem with pacing in the middle. And I don't know if it has to do with how things are written. I don't have to know if that has to do with budgetary issues or whatever it is. But I like it when then things get flipped on their head. And I was watching something, they said episode 4 is kind of usually where that happens in MCU shows. And they went through it like, I forget what it is in WandaVision that happens in 4. I think that's when she breaks out of the hex.
Either that or she's pregnant or she has the babies.
Yeah. Episode 4 in Falcon and Winter Soldiers when US Agent kills the dude.
Yeah.
Loki, I forget what it is.
All I remember is that Loki episode 3 is the worst episode of all of the MCU. And then 4, I was like, thank the goodness this is back.
Yes. And then What If, that's the Doctor Strange episode, is 4, which is like my favorite, I think. It's the most emotionally resonant episode, I think. So that seems to be like how it is that they want to do these shows. But it's nice that they have this nice flip of everything so that we're not continuing on in this epic that's not as epic as you want it to be.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely... Go ahead. Colt.
I was gonna say, this is the one show where, like, if someone told me that Oscar Isaac had a twin brother, I'd believe it. Like his switch.
That good. He's that good.
Yeah, his switch between the two characters is so good.
I like it a lot, and I even like when he's drugged up, he seems both Steven and Mark, even because he's like out of it, and it's a little more comical. But yeah, when they're separate and they're two different people that they're looking at each other, it's wonderful. I like it.
Yeah. I absolutely loved the entire Mummy, but a little scarier vibe, because who doesn't love the Mummy? If you don't love the 99,
if you don't love the Mummy, get the fuck out of America or wherever.
Seriously.
You suck.
But the Mummy vibe with more horror to it, like that's what I want from here on out. That and the craziness, just give me those two things together, because I can take slow or I can take build up if it's like adventure and going through like indie, the Mummy mixed with horror, and then flip it on its head and go to this place that when I tell you the hippo lady, when she came out, I don't think I've geeked out that much in a long time. I think I think I geeked out as much at that as I did in No Way Home, because if anybody watches this is a big Rick Riordan fan, Percy Jackson, Kane Chronicles fan is me, and you know who that hippo lady is. I literally was like, she opened the door. I was like, oh, you're from, oh shit, I know what's going on. Oh no, I was so geeked out because I know exactly what is happening. And people have been texting me all day, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, I know, because I read the Kane Chronicles and I love the Kane Chronicles, and I cannot wait for the Percy Jackson show and the movie and all of Egyptian mythology. I love it. So I know exactly where they're heading, or at least I know what the paths they could take, because I know where they are now, because I know who she is. And it just made me so happy, because as Colton knows, I hate the Percy Jackson movies because I love the books.
Yeah.
And I love that entire series, and just seeing that connection of, oh, that's the lady from Kane Chronicles. Yes, I love it. So again, you don't shy away from information, but this may give you spoilers. If you not want to know what's happening or where they actually are, I can give you the scoop, because I am so excited about it.
I think I've heard from another review basically what's going on, but I'm not as in the know as you are. But I'll leave that to Colton, what he wants to do.
But yeah, all right. So that's Moon Knight.
Yeah, perfect. That's all good.
Yes, yeah. Like that's the one thing. Like I've tried to stay away from this because I don't know crap about Moon Knight. So I've stopped looking at anything. Like besides my hashtag when I tweet out, I don't look at anything Moon Knight related, because I want to I see like to make sure it's like doing well, and then I run away.
The fun thing about this for me is that I don't know anything about Moon Knight either. All my knowledge is Egyptian mythology side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even though I know what's coming, I have no idea what's coming because I don't know Moon Knight comics. I don't know much. I don't know anything besides this show and the comic card I have in that room somewhere. So it's just the fact that I know who that character is and what she does that I'm like, yes, excitement. And I still don't know where they're going, even though I know the idea of where they're going. It's lovely.
Can I ask you all a quick question before we move on? Just because of like the lead up to this. So I know I didn't know anything about Moon Knight either, but I know that the idea behind it was that people liked him because he was uber violent. And everybody's like, oh, we want an R-rated Moon Knight movie. Oscar Isaac's only signed on for 6 episodes. He doesn't have a contract after this. If, depending on how this ends, would you like to see him then do more? Would you like it to be more connected to the comic of what people expect of it being like an R-rated Moon Knight? Like, I watched this, and you're right, some of the action's a little bit toned down. If they did like an R-rated movie that had a big budget behind it, would you be on board with that post an MCU series?
On board, yes. I don't think I need it though.
Okay.
Because like episode 1, the extra, the blood, the axe in dude's head in episode 4, like that was even though some people were like, I wish I would have seen it. The beat down of the Jackal in episode 1,
it's cool.
That was enough for me. That was like, this is not your regular MCU show. They freaking took organs out of a dude in this ass episode.
It's true.
That's good enough for me, but of course I'd take an R-rated one because why not?
I was just curious because we have no idea what Moon Knight's post 6 episodes is, what he's going to be. So I don't know what their plan could be. I guess maybe it depends on how the other R-rated stuff does too, or how it is that they want to fit him in the greater, larger universe, which could relate to some other MCU projects that we have coming up.
But alrighty. So obviously Amaru and myself saw it. Robert, did you see the Thor4 trailer?
I've watched it like 5 times.
Did we see the Thor 4?
I am so excited for that. Like,
I know not to be excited about. This thing looks incredible.
I know so many people, like Twitter blew up for all the wrong reasons because Jane Foster is Thor. But as a person who read the Mighty Thor comic, I'm like, cool. Like, I'm so glad they're doing something with that character because, like, she was cool.
She was basically nothing.
Yeah.
Most
part. Who also didn't know she was going to be Thor? She held the hammer at Comic-Con.
Yeah. But you know how, like, ignorant people are. Like, I guess they don't know it until they see it. And they're just like,
we call those people ignorant.
Ignorant. I was going to say, it's not ignorant because I'm an ignorant person. There's a lot I don't know about. They ignorant as hell.
Ignorant as hell.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'm really excited. Like the workout routine with Strongest Avenger hat
that's wonderful.
Great.
Yes.
The Star-Lord joke. Every time I watched it in loop because I watched reviews of stuff, and just seeing him come in is
every time.
It gets me every time. I just love it. Just his stupid face.
The one thing I didn't catch that somebody else caught that I was like, oh, that's really cool. When King Valkyrie, when she's sitting there and whatever she's doing, Meek is her assistant on the side. And somebody saw that. I was like, that is Meek.
Yeah.
Lovely. Meek in a suit.
The other thing I didn't catch was that Kraglin's part of the Guardians, that he's there on the ground.
Ooh.
Yeah. If you see like that part when he takes off the jacket and they scatter, you see a very quick version of him with the fin. So I'm
very happy that they kept that going. Because as much as I like every MCU movie, but as much as I don't like Guardians 2, him taking the fin and Kraglin is amazing. I love Sean Gunn. Sean Gunn is so good.
But yeah, like there is a scene in the trailer where it's Thor and there's a missing spot next to him.
That's what most people are. That's what I heard was people were just like mad about it being a type of movie and them taking people out. I don't know.
I'd rather them take it out. I want to be surprised at who that's going to be.
I know, but people get upset when they know something happens and their things are deliberately left. Sometimes people are left out. I mean, there's the epic shot, the wide out shot where they're walking. You can see 4 people, and it's Thor and Korg and Valkyrie, I think, and Jane Foster as Thor. So I mean, there's things in this trailer you could try to piece together and how like the timeline goes of how the movie goes, but I don't need to figure that out. I don't need to Sherlock Holmes detective this trailer. I just need to bask in its 90-second glory.
Yep, I agree. But yeah, I thought the trailer was good. I can't wait to see how she gets the hammer.
Forge it back. I can't wait to see how it's forged back together. That's
I love that it's the one piece back together.
Yep. But yeah, so that's good. I think we're about to start talking about Secret of Dumbledore.
Absolutely. So this is the part where I'm going to abscond.
Well, Robert, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed
it. Seeing you, sir.
It's always good to see you, sir. Everybody out there, don't forget to tip your virtual waitresses, but not till after the Secrets of Dumbledore discussion.
Yes. And also, either it's been shown, it's already been released. Either go get that belt from Kirk so I can get it from you, or I'll see you in the debate ring because you saw I called you out, and I would love to do it, sir.
Oh my gosh, that would be wonderful. I would love to debate you, sir.
All righty. Well, see you, Robert.
Bye, everybody.
All right, he's officially gone. So, Secrets of Dumbledore. I gotta be honest. When I left the theater, I hated the movie. I hated it. Like, it was my least favorite Wizarding World movie.
But you liked Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yes.
Okay.
But the more I thought about it, because my initial reaction was, this contradicts so many of the things in the book. Like, so many things.
Like what?
Well, like, they're not supposed to see each other until 1945.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't, like, there's...
But you're also the one that doesn't put Prison of Azkaban up there as one of the best because it's not closest to the book when it's easily the best movie out of all of them. But sure.
Okay. But, yeah, like, there's so many, like, but, like, me and you talked about it, like, Friday night. Like, I was sitting there watching my sons play baseball, and I was like, no, the movie's better. And the more I've thought about it, the better the movie has gotten. Because I'm just like, at first I was like, I don't like how this works because of all this stuff. But then I'm like, there's still 2 more movies, Colton. So she knows what she's doing. Like,
I don't know if there's going to be 2 more movies, which is the sad part. Because I also actually really enjoyed this movie. I think I enjoyed it a lot more than a lot of other Potterheads. It's fun. My funny correlation is this is the more successful version of Rise of Skywalker to me, because I think it suffers from the same thing where with Star Wars, they should have kept going with The Last Jedi. For me, they should have kept going with The Last Jedi storylines because I thought Last Jedi was great. And they scrambled and just took away everything that happened in Last Jedi and fixed it in Rise of Skywalker, and it made Rise of Skywalker just not good at all. For me, this took all the stuff of Crimes of Grindelwald that was just like, why would you do that, and fixed it. Like, when they said he was a Dumbledore and Dumbledore's brother, and I was like, that is just a cop-out. But it's spoilers. But making it Aberforth's son was like, oh, that is lovely. I enjoy that because we always forget about Aberforth. And the title of this movie is not about Albus. This is about Aberforth. This is the Secrets of Aberforth Dumbledore, not Albus Dumbledore. I'm loving that. Taking away Queenie and making her go bad, fixing that very quickly, and having the storyline of her and Jacob trying to get back together. I was very glad they switched that back. They should have never done it in the first place.
I honestly, I thought she was going to die because I thought the entire fabric of her walking through the fire was her making a unbreakable vow with Grindelwald.
Yeah.
So I thought the moment she turns, she'll burst into flames and die. And I was so happy when that didn't happen. because I was like, oh, that's gonna be so sad. And honestly, I thought the Chillin was gonna bow to Jacob because
So did my dad. My dad thought the same thing, and I was like, "Look, watch it." And I'm so glad it didn't, because that would have made zero sense.
yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, but I thought it would have been like a nice message to say, hey, not only a Muggle can be pure hearted because he is. He is absolutely like he's the best character in these movies, and it's so weird because we never really see in the Harry Potter movies and in the books. We never really see the Muggle aspect. We
Right.
see always the bad parts of the Muggle aspect, being the Dursleys, and like this is like the reverse of that. Someone who like wants to be a part of that world so much.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, for me, it like I broke it down like on my bite-sized review. I broke it down. The first 2/3 of the movie, it still didn't have the magic of Harry Potter, but what did work were the performances. I think Mads is a better Grindelwald than Johnny is, because I think he takes it the right direction. I really love the dynamic between him and Jude Law. Jude Law, I really love Jude Law as young Dumbledore. He carries the arrogance, humbleness. He carries the arrogance and humbleness together. As a young one, like no, still young, but also gone through enough to like know, oh, my stupidity has gotten me in places I don't want. I like that a lot. Jacob is Jacob. And freaking Jessica Williams as Lally was beautiful. And the fact that they put her and Jacob together, basically the two best characters, lovely. And also, I know a lot of people did not like that Catherine Waterston was not in it. I don't really like Tina as a character. So her not being in it was a plus to me.
yeah, like so. Did you think it was weird that like I remember watching the trailers and even watching the movie? I'm still not sure, but did you think the big scorpion monster was a blasted in Scroot?
I didn't think about that. But no, because didn't like I can't remember. Did Hagrid create those things?
Yeah.
Or did he buy it from somebody who created them?
Yeah, he created it, but
That's
I
what I
wonder
thought.
if
Okay.
it's a thing where like Newt saw it and then Hagrid just created what he heard Newt talk about.
Maybe.
And
But this has solidified that they made the mistake with Crimes of Grindelwald. That kind of just killed it. I'm really sad because it didn't make as much money as it needed to, and the fact that the movie ended with closure, they may not make 4 and 5 now. And I legit left the movie like I am interested now. I want it because I thought from when they left the rumor requirement on, it felt like Harry Potter to me. The magic was back. That fight with the orbs was great. I felt everything. And it was like, okay, y'all really should have just branded this the Secrets of Dumbledore franchise, not the Fantastic Beasts franchise, and said the Secrets of Dumbledore, Fantastic Beasts is movie 1, so you could have Newt in there, but put Dumbledore in there. Probably would have been accepted a whole lot differently, because this movie it has Fantastic Beasts, but it's not Fantastic Beasts. It's not about the Fantastic Beasts.
yeah, it's like the entire Chillin plot was because they were like, we have to make it about a fantastic beast. But I do like the idea of like a magical creature being the thing that being like, hey, animals are, innocent. They would be the ones that could tell you, hey, this person's cool or not.
And
so I honestly I thought the movie was going to end with Grindelwald becoming the high leader of whatever, because then that makes it seem like the reason why like the next two movies are Dumbledore having to go against the government, because now the government's ruled by whatever. So whenever he won, I was like, I checked my phone and we saw like a few minutes left of the movie. I was like, oh, okay, so this is not the end. I wonder what's okay, cool. And there are some things like Jacob's wand is made of snake wood, which in Harry Potter lore, the only other wand that we know that was made of snake wood was Salazar Slytherin's wand. But he has the ability to turn the core off with Parcel Mouth. So I wonder if it's not that this one doesn't have a core. I wonder if it's just been turned off by a member of the Gaunt family, which is the reason why I think the next movie is going to have something to do with the heir or Slytherin, and that's why you'll see Voldy.
See, things like that. That is why I want this to continue. It's like that's actually one part of lore I had no idea about. I had no, and that is interesting to me. They should have made this Secrets of Dumbledore, Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore #2, Secrets of Dumbledore, whatever this is called. God.
Yeah, but I know me and you have talked about it. Like the next movie could totally be a first time of the Chamber of Secrets being opened, and that would go back to the Fantastic Beast. And
don't go back.
And
if you, I can't do it. Don't go back to Voldemort. I've been vehemently against Voldemort, but showing up in these movies. However, you mentioning the Gaunts. If the Gaunts show up and Tom Riddle Sr. shows up and maybe a baby, I'm fine with that because it doesn't go back to him. It just is a natural way to show him and then get him out of here.
Well, because I think at this point, like Tom has been born, or Voldemort's been born. His mom has died in childbirth, and he's in the orphanage at this point. So I think the only Gaunts would be his grandfather and uncle,
who are somewhere in prison.
Well, they're chilling out at the Gaunt residence because that's one of the things he kills.
Right. Because that happens before. Well, if Voldemort is already born, what's his face? Not Merope, but her brother is already been arrested.
Yeah, and like because Voldemort kills them to make the ring into a Horcrux.
Yes.
So
we don't need Voldemort in these films. We don't.
Not
an adult one or a teenage one. Just leave it alone.
Like I could totally see us like seeing him in the background somewhere. Like I still contend I want Hero Fiennes to be Voldemort. He's the right age, but I understand that that's not popular. But I could totally see like Newt then the next movie is the one that gives Hagrid his Acromantula, and I would be completely okay with that. Like I would love it.
Give me Hagrid. Give me young Hagrid. Keep Voldemort the hell away from these movies, please. We don't need him back.
But yeah, I'm excited. Like even if they don't make the movie, like I just want her to release the 2 scripts for it. Like because I pre-ordered the 3rd one.
I want Steve Kloves to release the scripts because JK has not done anything with these scripts, and Kloves definitely made this better.
Yeah.
So
like I just want it in a form of a book to see what's going on. But yeah, like because I kind of hate that like they'll probably say that Credence died off screen, so they don't have to explain another recasting.
Also, he wasn't very good in this film either. So, I mean, I guess that's one positive and negative. A negative is he's probably the character with the best arc in these 3 films, but he's less and less in the movie. And I don't think especially in 1, he was fine. In 2, it was whatever. Actually, I take that back. In 1, he was okay. I actually thought he might have been the best part of number 2, acting-wise. But in this one, I just thought he was there and did nothing. And they didn't give him much to do. Which, like I said, positive because he wasn't in it that much. And they kind of closed his story very well. And they tightened up that twist from 2 very well. But bad because when he was on it, he wasn't very good. He didn't really do much. And so if he's gone, sure.
But I do want to see him again because I think him dying will be the thing that turns like we didn't see Nagini in the movie, which I kind of hate, but I think him dying will be the thing that turns Nagini to the dark side and has her join Voldemort because she doesn't like the Dumbledores. And but I know you gotta leave in just a minute, so but yeah, we'll definitely talk more about this. I have so many. I could talk about theories and stuff for another 30 minutes, but I know you got to leave. So, but yeah, thank you for coming on. I super appreciate it.
Of course, anytime, man.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I know you got one got to stay on
Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Yes. And speaking of, it is the Wizarding World panel. Technically, just Harry Potter panel because the 6 who are on Monday that the panel is choosing from is all Harry Potter characters, not Fantastic Beasts. So tomorrow I will be posting who the panel is, who's actually going to be on the show. But Monday, come join us, most likely at around 7:30. Luckily, an earlier show this time. We are going to choose who gets to move forward between Hagrid, Hermione, Luna, Snape, Sirius, and Harry.
Okay.
What?
You out there in the Supernova universe out there, if you choose Snape as the person who gets to stay, you're bad.
No.
He's a creepy weirdo. And in the movies, it's even worse because at least in the books, he doesn't go hold on to the dead woman. In the movies, it's just creepy. The only reason why people don't think it's creepy is because it's Alan Rickman and he's amazing. But otherwise, it'd be really weird to climb over a dead body and then hold another dead body while there's a crying child.
I will leave my opinions for the show Monday.
Yep, but that's my opinion. I will be in the comment on the show on Monday.
Lovely.
So,
lovely. Yeah. But yes, follow the new Bite Size Breakdown YouTube channel. I have moved One Gotta Stay over there. We're starting the Bite Size Breakdown YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed, if you subscribe to Yuri Reviews, go over and subscribe to Bite Size Breakdown. That's where One Gotta Stay is now being housed. Follow me on bitesizebreakdown.com. All our reviews. We just did a new top 5 Netflix original films. Reviews for Dumbledore and Sonic and a whole bunch of other that and TV shows are out. And you can easily find me because my name is very unique. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Nick 888-221, as in the New York Knicks, because I'm a diehard fan. Pretty easy to find me though. But that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And Schmodown, of course.
Yes.
You might see me soon. How soon? I can't tell you. How far? I can't tell you, but you'll see me soon.
All right. Well, we're signing out. You guys check you out next week.